Hello everyone, welcome to Principles of Communication System lecture series. In this lecture video, we are going to discuss about introduction to digital representation of analog signal, why digitalized analog source, and the sampling process. In sampling process, we are going to discuss about construction and reconstruction of the signals. A digital signals is superior to an analog signals because it is more robust to noise and can easily be recovered and corrected and amplified. For this reason, the tendency today is to change an analog signals to digital data. The communications are divided into mainly three categories. The first one is the analog communication system are designed to transmit the analog information using analog methods. So for example, analog modulation methods, for example, amplitude modulation, frequency modulation, DSBSC, VSB. These are some examples for analog modulation techniques. And second one is the digital communication systems are designed for transmitting the digital information using digital modulation scheme, for example, pulse code modulation. So in this modulation, we transmit the digital data from source to destination. The third one is hybrid system that is use digital modulation schemes for transmitting the sampled and quantized values of an analog message signal. In third method, in hybrid system, first we have to convert the analog signals into digital signals. So then we have to transmit the converted signal or digital signals from transmitter to receiver. So this, for example, we take this is the analog source, analog signal source. It generates the analog signal. So we apply to waveform coding. So waveform coding converts the analog signals into digital format. So here we receive the digital signal. So then we have to modulate the signal. After modulating, we have to transmit the signals from source to destination. In the first step, from the analog to digital conversion, an analog source is sampled at discrete time. For example, PAM, pulse amplitude modulation, and pulse position modulation. So using this technique, we can easily convert analog signals into a digital signal. So PAM is the simplest form of analog pulse modulation. In the second step, from analog to digital, an analog source is not only sampled at discrete times, but the sampled themselves are also quantized to discrete levels. By using pulse code modulation and delta modulation, so we can easily convert the analog signals into a sampled and quantization levels. Why we need digitalized analog source? These are some advantages of the digital transmission over a analog transmission. The first advantages is noise immunity, error detection and correction, easy of multiplexing, integration of analog and digital data, use of signal regenerator, data integrity and security, easy of evaluation and measurement, more suitable for processing. These are some advantages of the digital transmission over analog transmissions. So in digital system are less sensitive to noise than analog. For long transmission length, the signal may be regenerated effectively, error free at different point along the path and the original signal transmitted over the remaining length. This is the one advantages of the digital transmission. With the digital system, it is easier to integrate different services, for example, video and the accompanying soundtrack into a same transmission scheme. The transmission scheme can be relatively independent of the source. For example, a digital transmission scheme that transmits voice at 10 kilobytes per second could also be used to transmit the computer data at 10 kilobytes per second. Circuitry for handling the digital signal is easier to repeat and digital circuits are less sensitive to physical effects such as vibration and temperatures. The digital signals are simpler to characterize and typically do not have the same amplitude range and variability as analog signals. This makes the associated hardware easier to design. Digital techniques offer a strategy for more efficient use of media, example cable, radio wave and optical fibers. Various media sharing the strategy known as a multiplexing techniques are more easily implemented with the digital transmission strategies. There are techniques for adding and controlling the redundancy to a digital transmission such that the error occurred during the transmission may be corrected at the receiver without any additional information. These techniques fall under a general category of the channel coding. Digital techniques make it easier to specify the complex standard that may be shared on a worldwide basis. This allows the development of communication components with many different features, for example, cellular handset, and their interpolation with a different component, for example, base station is produced by the different manufacturer. So all these are some advantages of the digital transmissions over a analog transmissions. These are some disadvantages of the digital transmission. So more bandwidth is required for transmission, need of precision time synchronization, additional hardware for encoding and decoding, integration of analog and digital data is required, sudden regression in QoS, incompatible with existing analog facilities. Now we will look into the sampling process. A message signal may originate from a digital or analog source. So we know that analog is the continuous signal and digital is the discrete event. If the message signal in analog in nature, then it has to be converted into a digital form before it can be transmitted by digital. The process by which continuous time signal is converted into a discrete time signal is called a sampling. The sampling operation is performed in accordance with the sampling theorem. The sampling theorem statement says if the band limited signal, the signal is g of t, is contain no frequency component for frequency greater than angular frequency omega, then it is completely described by instantaneous values g n t s. So g n t s is the instantaneous value uniformly spaced in the time which period is ts is less than or equal to 1 by 2 angular frequency omega. If the sampling rate or sampling frequency is equal to Nyquist rate or greater, the signal g of t can be exactly reconstructed. The statement says sampling signal frequency fs is greater than or equal to 2 omega. In this condition, we can easily reconstruct the signal. So in sampling theorem says the sampling frequency fs is greater than or equal to 2 omega. So let's consider one continuous signal g of t is applied to multiplier and periodic train pulse S delta of t is applied to multiplier and multiplier output is G delta of t is equal to multiplication of the input signal. The input signals are G of t and S delta of t. So this is the continuous signal G of t and S delta of t is the periodic train pulse and this is the resulting waveform. So here periodic pulse amplitude levels we multiplied with the continuous signal. So multiplier is converts the continuous input signals into discrete event. So in periodic pulse train, so in 0 second we have one pulse and 1 second we have second pulse and 2 second we have next pulse. So between 0 to 1 second there is no pulses. So in every time period we receive the input signal. So here we are not receiving any signal and 1 second we receive the signal and 2 second we receive the signal. So for example you take this is the 1 second and this is the 2 second. At 1 second we receive the input signal, we receive the sample signal and 2 second we receive the sample signal. So between 1 to 2 we are not receive any signals. Let's consider the signal g of t is the sampled by using a train of impulse s delta of t. Let g delta of t is denoted the ideally sampled signal can be represented as, so g delta of t is the output of the multiplier. G delta of t is equal to g of t into s delta of t. So this is the first equation where S delta of t is the impulse train. The periodic train pulse S delta of t is equal to summation n is equal to minus infinity to infinity delta t minus nts. So this is the mathematical equations for periodic train pulse. So now you substitute equation 2 into equation 1. So g delta of t is equal to g of t and s delta of t is equal to summation n is equal to minus infinity to infinity delta t minus nts. So by using shifting property of impulse response, so here so delta of t is equal to t minus nts. Here t minus nts is equal to 0 and t is equal to nts. So using shifting property, just you modify this equation. So here t is equal to nts. So s delta of t is equal to summation n is equal to minus infinity to infinity g nts dot delta t minus nts. So g of t is equal to summation n is equal to minus infinity to infinity g nts into delta t minus nts. This is equation number 3. The Fourier transformer of the impulse train is S delta of f is equal to fs into summation n is equal to minus infinity to infinity delta f minus n into fs. So this is the frequency domain equations for the periodic impulse train. So applying Fourier transformer to the multiplier output or equation 1 and using the convolution in frequency domain property, so we get g delta of f is equal to g of convolution s delta of f. So s delta of f is the periodic impulse train, g of f is the continuous signal and s delta of f is the multiplier output. So G delta of f, Gf and S delta of f is in frequency domain. We know that S delta of f is equal to Fs into summation n is equal to minus infinity to infinity delta f minus n into Fs. Now you substitute equation 2.4 into G delta of f equation. So G delta of f is equal to Gf convolution Fs into summation n is equal to minus infinity to infinity delta f minus n into Fs. So it's equal to G delta of f is equal to Fs into summation n is equal to minus infinity to infinity G f minus n into Fs. And this is the frequency domain equations for sampling process. In in frequency in sampling process, we can expect three types of waveform. So let's consider G of f. This is the input signal. The bandwidth it varies from minus omega to omega. In first scenario is oversampling. In oversampling, sampling frequency is greater than 2 omega, and this is the output of the multiplier. The multiplier output is G delta of f. The bandwidth is varies from 0 to omega and omega to fs minus omega, and fs is the sampling frequency. So omega to fs minus omega is the guard band frequency. So when sampling frequency is greater than 2 omega, so we can expect oversampled signals. When sampled signal is equal to 2 omega is the Nyquist rate sampling or exact sampling. So here we can see the exact triangular waveform, and bandwidth varies from minus omega to omega, and this is the sampled frequency. In Nyquist rate sampling, there is no guard band. And third case is sampling frequency is less than 2 omega. So here the bandwidth it varies from 0 to omega and omega to fs and fs to fs. So this is the undersampling or aliasing. In first two scenarios, we can reconstruct the signal. In undersampling, it's very difficult to reconstruct the signals. In first scenario is oversampling. In oversampling, sampling frequency is greater than 2 omega, and second scenario is Nyquist rate sampling. In Nyquist state rate sampling, sampling frequency is equal to 2 omega. And third scenario is undersampling. In undersampling, sampling frequency is less than 2 omega. How to reconstruct the sampled signals? The reconstruction of G of t from G delta of t. So G delta of t is the sampled signal and G of t is the original signal. So here we have to reconstruct the G of t from G delta of t. So by passing the ideally sampled signal G delta of t through on a low pass filter, it's called a reconstruction filter. Having the transfer function hr of f with the bandwidths b is satisfying the condition the bandwidth is greater than omega or less than or equal to fs minus omega. So fs is the sampling frequency. We can reconstruct the signal g of t. For an ideal reconstruction filter, the bandwidth b is equal to angular frequency omega. So here reconstructed output is G delta of t, and this is the sampled output. So we applied to low pass filter and impulse response is H R of f. The output of the filter is the original signal or reconstructed signal G of t. So here reconstruction filter output is G subscript RT. So here R is indicates the receiver output. The reconstructed filter output is GR of t. The output of the low pass filter is GR of t is equal to G delta of t into convolution HR of t. So where H subscript R of t is the impulse response of the filter. So and this is the impulse response of the filter. In frequency domain, GR of f is equal to G delta of f into HR of f. For ideal low pass filter, impulse response is equal to n when frequency is greater than or equal to minus omega or less than or equal to plus omega. Otherwise, impulse response is equal to 0. The impulse response is HR of t is equal to 2WTS into sin 2 omega into t. Correspondingly, the reconstructed signal is GR of t is equal to impulse response of the low pass filter convolution reconstructed signal. So reconstructed signal is G delta of t and impulse response is HR of t. The mathematical equations for the impulse response is 2 omega into Ts sinc 2 omega into t. So we know that G delta of t is equal to summation n is equal to minus infinity to infinity G into nts into delta t minus nts. So this is the equations for G delta of t, and G delta of t is multiplied with the impulse response, and impulse response is 2 omega into Ts dot sinc omega into t. By using convolution property, just modify the GR of t equation. After modification, we get 2 omega into Ts summation n is equal to minus infinity to infinity G into nts, and this term it's equal to sinc 2 omega into t minus nts. So this is the reconstructed signal. This is a reconstructed signal mathematical equation. Let's consider reconstructed signal is G delta of f, and this is the signal. The bandwidth varies from minus omega to omega, and second sample is fs, and with respect to negative is minus fs. So in reconstruction, constructed signal is applied to low pass filter, and this is the low pass filter impulse response. And bandwidth it varies from minus omega to plus omega. So we know that low pass filter it passes the lower value, and in this particular case the bandwidth is minus omega to plus omega. In this range, low pass filter is passes the input signals. So GR of f is the output of the low pass filter. So it passes the minus omega to plus omega frequency bands. So this is the output of the low pass filter. So by using low pass filter and low pass filter impulse characteristic, we can easily recover the constructed signal. So this is the reconstructed signal, and bandwidth is varies from minus omega to plus omega. So GR of f is the receiving signal, it's equal to G of f. So G of f is the original signal.
Thank you.